Tell me a story of another place. I wanna go, I want to escape, but I want the words. Teach me about my heart.
Hi, my name's Olivia Peck. I'm owner of Books and Coffee. It's a bookshop that I have right online at oliviapeck.com/booksandcoffee. I curate this book collection and they're available for you to purchase. I love finding books and rehoming them, and I love sending them to you personally. So it's just a joy. I want to start doing videos about books, but I wanted to do my first video on my top 10 favorite books from childhood. A lot of the things I read as a kid, the style, the themes and types of books I liked then are the kind of books I like now. So I'm going to go through my favorite books. I'm going to talk about some books that I have read as an adult that remind me of the children's books that I enjoyed, and we're going to get right into it. So some of these books I might also have in stock, and I'll let you know what I have. So we're going to start with number 10 on my list, Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing, and already starting with a tie here, Double Fudge, which I actually do have in stock. This is a Judy Blume book, and I'm sure a lot of people remember the Judy Blume books. She's just a fantastic writer, and she's so good at getting in the mind of a kid. And I remember reading her books and just like feeling like I just related to the characters so much, which is incredible because she's an adult, but she was so good at writing for kids. And she was really good at just kind of, through her work, making you feel not so alone, because you have a lot of weird, crazy thoughts when you're a kid, and it's just awesome how she was able to like write for kids so well. She's a professional. Okay, so let's read a little of the back of Double Fudge here. Fudge is obsessed with money. He is making his own fudge bucks and has plans to buy the entire world. But life gets really crazy when Fudge and his older brother Peter run into their long-lost relatives, the Howie Hatchers. Now they have to deal with annoying twin cousins and a weird younger cousin, coincidentally named Farley Drexel Hatcher, just like Fudge. Their names aren't the only similarity, and before long, Mini Fudge is causing just as much trouble as Fudge always has. Wow, takes me back. The thing I really liked about these books is I could share them with my mom because she read them as a kid as well. And I was an older sibling who had one younger sibling. She was a year and a half younger. She is a year and a half younger than me. So I really related to the family dynamic, I guess. So yeah, that's number 10. Loves it. Number 9. Get ready. This is a classic. Holes. Loved Holes. Also loved the movie with, I almost said Even Stevens. Great series as well with Shia LaBeouf. Fab. Here's some of the back. Stanley Yelnats, how do you say his last name? I have no clue. I don't remember at all. Is under a curse that began with his no good, dirty, rotten, pig stealing great great grandfather, and has since followed generations of Yelnatses. Now Stanley has been unjustly sent to a boys' detention center, Camp Green Lake, where the boys build character by spending all day, every day, digging holes exactly 5 feet wide and 5 feet deep. Why did digging holes sound so fun as a kid? I mean, hole digging, was that just me? I feel like that's a kid thing, digging holes. So, uh, Louis Sachar, I think that's how you say his last name. It's just sad. I'm really running into trouble with the pronunciations. But anywho, he really tapped into the mind of a child as well with the digging thing, because I'm pretty sure kids just love to dig holes. At least I did. Yeah. Number 8. Oh man. As soon as I saw this cover again, I was just taken back. to sitting in my bed, reading these books, and freaking myself out. Okay? Let's start with my favorite in this series. Okay, kind of cheating because this is a series. Michigan Chillers, Poltergeists of Petoskey. That was my favorite. And then this is the one that was about my hometown because all of these were based on cities in Michigan. So the author Jonathan Rand picked a city, and then picked a monster to terrorize it. And this was the one for Traverse City. Definitely nice and creepy. Yeah. It was really fun to read this on a chilly night in Michigan and imagine like this evil giant monster just ripping through Front Street. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Okay, we're moving right along to number 7. Sorry, Mom. Da da da. Captain Underpants. Hello. Those books were so funny. The best part about it was like written by kids and Dave Pilkey. Yeah. It was like written by kids, so there were tons of spelling errors. And I remember my mom saying at some point, I don't really want you reading those, Olivia. I wasn't very good at spelling, and she was kind of worried that it was just going to make that problem worse. So I don't know. The misspelling in this book was definitely pretty obvious, but I definitely also see where she's coming from. I do. I do. I get it. I get it because I really could not spell very well. Even yesterday, I was like, how do you spell cinnamon? Cinnamon. Yeah, tricky. You wouldn't know that from reading Captain Underpants. I'm telling you right now. What are we on? 6? Yeah, we're getting closer. The Witches. Bro, this book was so creepy. Does this picture not just take you back? The Witches. To this day, I love witch books. I love them. Here's a little sidebar. Oh my gosh, I haven't drank any of my tea. Anyways, here's a little sidebar. Sorry. ADD moment. If you love Roald Dahl and what is it, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I have a friend who wrote a satirical version of that. I don't know if I said that correctly, but Fanny and the Firearms Factory, which I highly recommend, and I sell it in my shop. I have some copies here. So if you are interested, fellow American citizens, though the Lord didn't deem you worthy to fire one of the 5 golden bullets, author Reeled Deal and illustrator Sasha Duran have generously, and because you're paying them, decided to give you a chance to glance behind the gates of Mr. Charlton Chambers' most great American firearms factory. Okay, so if you're interested in this, I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. Pick it up, order it on the website, or you can get it all the other places as well. So Roald Dahl, such a staple for generations for children's books. James and the Giant Peach, that was, but The Witches takes the cake for me. That's the one that I remember. It was so creepy, and it's kind of funny that people are like, oh, witches get such a bad rap and all this stuff. And yeah, like it's nice to have good witch stories too, but I like the evil witch stories and the good witch stories. In fact, my favorite book, which is not for sale right now, I only have one copy and I'm keeping it, is The Rules of Magic. This is not the last time you're going to hear about me talk about this. And again, this is a sidebar. This is one I read recently. It's not a kid's book. It's definitely for adults. But if you still are loving a story about witches to this day, I highly recommend The Rules of Magic. It's so good. It's so cozy. It's all of those things. It's set mostly in New York City, but there's scenes in rural Massachusetts and Paris, and oh my gosh, it's the best. So yeah, there's an adult book for you if you're still into witches, but we're not done with the list. So let's like keep going here. But what we're not done talking about is witches. Y'all, I had to put this in here. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. It's not just about the books. It's really about so much more than that. And the reason why I had to put it at number 5 and not higher, even though it is such an iconic book series, is because for me, it wasn't as much about the books as the memories around it. I mean, this is kind of weird that I'm bringing this up, but who remembers the YouTube video Harry Potter Puppet Pals? Okay? Harry Potter Puppet Pals. The movie premieres when you would dress up and with your wand and your robe. How about these days going to Universal Studios and checking out Harry Potter worlds? Dude, that place is insane. Just the level of detail and how real it feels and everything. It's so well done. And leaving J.K. Rowling out of it, the amount of just creativity in bringing this book to life in so many different forms, the movies and everything is pretty impressive. So it's really just so much about so much more than the actual book for me and all the memories that came with it. Okay, here's another series that I loved. Narnia. I recently just watched the cartoon. You can watch the cartoon movie, at least right now. It's for free on YouTube. Somebody slapped it on there. So you can actually watch the cartoon, but the live action is awesome, of course. I love this book. It was like my dream for to find Narnia. I really wanted this to happen to me. I really wanted to go look in a closet and find a magical world. I mean, who didn't? But this was real. This was real for me. I grew up going to church and watching Veggie Tales, so this was really a level up for Christian kids to read something as BA as Narnia. All right, Aslan, that was sick. That was pretty sick. If y'all don't remember, C.S. Lewis is a Christian writer, and he used Narnia, the characters in Narnia in the story, to like represent the resurrection of Christ. So, I was a big fan of that at the time. Big fan. We're gonna move right along though to let's see is what's next. That was number 4. What's number 3? Okay. Y'all might be surprised that this series for me beats out the other 2. The other 3 actually. Michigan Chillers was a series. Anyhow, series of unfortunate events. Hello. Let me snick it. Okay, let's read the back. I am already getting, yeah. Dear reader, I'm sorry to say that the book you are holding in your hands is extremely unpleasant. It tells an unhappy tale about 3 very unlucky children. Even though they are charming and clever, the Baudelaire siblings lead lives filled with misery and woe. Oh my gosh. I just love the vibes. I love the vibes. I love the artwork. I love everything about this. I love everything about this book. I don't have it in stock. This is my copy, but I'm sure I will pick up some more soon. I have to say, the film adaptations for this it could never be good enough for me. It's for me the gothic feel and the darkness and the moodiness and kind of creepiness couldn't really be matched in film yet. I love Jim Carrey a lot. I even have a tattoo that says "Alrighty then," but I really wanted it to be less silly. And I sound like a crazy person saying that. I feel like a lot of people did like the movie, but and I did too. But I also wanted it to be like a bunch of movies. And they kind of crammed like a lot of books into one movie, which is fine, but I wanted more. I wanted more. Okay, moving right along to number 2. Oh, do I have a picture of this? I'll look it up. So the book is Gentle Ben. Gentle Ben is a book about a kid who becomes friends with a bear. From what I remember, the bear doesn't talk or anything. Oh my gosh, is there a movie? What? I never saw the movie. When I tell you, I loved this book. I loved this book. I still do to this day, but if you know how it is. If you were to ask me really what happened, besides the kid, the classic story of a boy and his beloved pet, besides that, I really could not tell you what exactly happens. I don't know if the bear's okay in this. I don't know if everything turns out okay. I feel like I don't want to give any spoilers either, anyways. So, dude, I love that book. I love that book. I loved it. And anything with befriending animals, you know, such a staple of childhood. All right, that was number 2. So we're getting really close. I have a couple of honorable mentions. First one is going to be another Judy Blume book. Iconic. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Hello. Great book. Once again, couldn't tell you all the details of it. I just know it's a coming of age book. My mom gave it to me, kind of like one of those, now you read it books. You know what I'm saying? When a mother gives her daughter a book, that kind of thing. And once again, just Judy Blume, she's crushing it. Other honorable mention, Charlotte's Web. What a great way for kids to connect, to learn to be have empathy for animals. And I think kids inherently maybe have that a little bit. Not always. Sometimes kids are mean to animals. So it really made me want to talk to animals even more than I already was doing. Loves it. All right. We're going to talk about number 1. The number 1 for my childhood, my favorite read, Jean Craghead George, My Side of the Mountain. Guys, this book, I'm going to read what it says on Amazon, the little description. First of all, the New York Times Book Review said, should appeal to all rugged individualists who dream of escape to the forest. And that's an interesting to say about reading age 8 to 11 years. Individualists who dream of escape to the forest. But it's true, though. This is the description. Sam Gribley is terribly unhappy living in New York City with his family, so he runs away to the Catskill Mountains to live in the woods all by himself. With only a penknife, a ball of cord, $40, and some flint and steel, he intends to survive on his own. Sam learns about courage, danger, and independence during his year in the wilderness, a year that changes his life forever. How I wanted to go run away and live in a tree. I really did. As somebody who just loved forts, I loved building forts. I did it all day as a kid outside. We lived by some woods. I was building forts all the time. You know, I'm not the only one. I know building forts. In the winter, it was snow forts in my home state. It was just such a blast. And to this day, I just want to build a little house in the woods and have some chickens. Seems amazing. really, really, it was the beginning to The Hobbit, even like just it really it started it all. Even this cottagecore thing going on, I think it all started with my side of the mountain. It started there. But that's the list I'm going to share with you. If you also were a big fan of My Side of the Mountain, there is a book that I think you would like as an adult, and it is Stephen King's The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordy. This is about a little girl who gets separated from her family while walking, I think, the Appalachian Trail, probably says. Yeah, the Appalachian Trail. And all she has is her radio, and she's listening to baseball games while she's kind of lost in the woods. And I'm pretty sure someone younger could read this as well. Even though it's Stephen King, I don't remember anything super. It is eerie. It is eerie, but it's not like the Stephen King that you would expect. It's not The Shining. That's my list of books. Thank you for watching. I wanted to give you a little insight into my mind and what I have. I'm not editing this, so that's gonna be great to play back. I wanted to give you insight into things that I liked, and when I talk about books that I like, you'll have a frame of reference. Everyone's different. Everybody has different opinions on books, and we all have different tastes, but I like to hear people's opinions on books and why they like them, so I thought I would put my 2 cents in on the interwebs. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.